All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Boston Whaler. We've got a great presentation for you. Real quick, before we start, members of the media, we've got a fantastic swag bag for you. Stop by the front desk. Make sure you get this before you go. You can wear your Boston Whaler swag. You can represent the brand throughout the show. Again, thank you all for coming today. Welcome to Fort Lauderdale. It feels like we were just here, and here we are again in Fort Lauderdale. But we've got a great day. The rain is holding off. We've got some nice wind. We've got a great launch today to talk about the 330 Vantage right here behind us. It is a wonderful boat shown here today for the very first time.
So the product is the star of the show today, but the team asked me to take a few minutes just to introduce myself and three things to know. The first is, this is my passion. This industry, the people behind our product. I can tell you on this 330 Vantage, every inch of this boat has been thought about, well designed, with the voice of the customer. This is a team of boaters, the designs for boaters, to expand participation in the industry and create remarkable experiences. There's an incredible team here across Brunswick and at Whaler. The second thing, I am 8 weeks in this new role, but I have been with Brunswick for 20 years. I started in Boat Group in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is coming home for me, and it is an incredibly exciting time for us and a privilege to be part of this incredible team. The third thing to know, I am a two-time Whaler owner. So our first boat was a 270 Vantage. So this is particularly a special moment as the team's going to introduce the 330 today. One of the reasons I love the 270, it was the versatility. I will say we tried to fish like a couple times, but the day boating aspect of the Vantage is really what we fell in love with, moved to around, and we're exciting and already in the dreaming phase here of our next boat. The last thing I'll say, when you've been in the industry for 20 years, you've seen a lot. And if anything, people in this industry are incredibly resilient. At Brunswick, we lead with our front foot. We say next, never rest. What we have been doing over the past several years is leading with product, developing new product. You're going to see that across the show. Just left C. Ray and Yvonne earlier today. We have had 70 new products that we have launched this year. So we are well positioned as the industry begins to come back. But I think you see it and you feel it with consumers and customers and what we know and what they've shared. Boating participation continues to be a strong driver. People love to get out on the water, and our job is to create these experiences.
It's always great to be here in Fort Lauderdale with all of you. Like Brenna said, or Lee said, it seemed like just yesterday we were here, last year. So I want to spend a few minutes and just talk about some history. And Boston Whaler has been in the dual console market for over 40 years. So maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't. In 1983, we had a boat called the 18 GTX. Little bit ahead of its time, I think, from a dual console day boat standpoint. So in the 90s, we had the Dauntless model lineup of dual consoles. So all of you today know Dauntless as our very successful center console boat. But back in the mid to late 90s, Dauntless was a dual console boat. We rebranded the lineup, and dual consoles became Venturas. You guys remember the Ventura family? See some heads nodding? But the real success for Boston Whaler in the dual console market came in 2012 when we launched the Vantage lineup. So Vantage is in its second generation, and it really does answer that day boat trend that started, 10 or 12 years ago. So, when you think about the dual console that John's going to walk you through, think about 40 plus years of heritage with the brand competing in the dual console space, and Vantage by far is the most successful dual console that the company has had in the market.
Hi guys, it's so nice to see so many familiar faces here today. Very special day for all of us here in product development. Another great boat at the show, and what a boat it is, guys. So when you think about Boston Whaler and you think about product development within Boston Whaler, it's not always easy, right? The 32 Vantage was a beautiful boat. But if you think about how to develop a Boston Whaler, it's the constant pursuit of being the best. And I think what you're going to see here in this 33 Vantage is a product of that. I can walk you through a couple of little features here. I may mention along the way a couple names. So first off, Fabrizio is the lead designer on the program. He spent a lot of time early on trying to figure out what was the styling going to be on a 33. It worked on the smaller Vantages, but how does that scale up? But then when we got into the boat, what were some of those features? Well, the one that may draw your eye instantly is the full windshield, full height windshield. So that started off in early concept phase, and then Noah Esham, our advanced engineer, was able to figure out a way that you can actually open and close that door with one hand. Just through basic engineering principles and being able to balance out that door, he did an outstanding job. I encourage each and every one of you to go and articulate that door and see what you think. As you move aft, we did something a little bit different on this new 33. So when you look at a whaler, I want you to remember another important thing. Every whaler that we develop is based on hours and hours of talking to customers just like you. Many of you here own Boston Whalers. Some of you even probably talk to some of our team members about what you like, what you don't like, your experiences. One of the things that we heard was, hey, I use the head a lot in my boat, and it's a really important part of my boating experience. So you know what we did on the 33? We actually switched the interiors from your 32 to the 33. Now when you get on board, you open up that port side compartment, you're going to get a beautiful, spacious head with really thoughtfully applied materials and finishes down there. I think you're going to love it. The next thing we did on the helm deck, we kind of rethought what it meant to socialize on this boat. And I want to call out, I'm going to embarrass him a little bit here, but where's Mark Robinson? Mark really pushed us hard. There he is. Mark really pushed us hard to think about what really drove Vantage to be a Vantage. And when it comes down to it's being social on that boat. So when you get onto that helm deck, underneath the shade of the hardtop, you're going to feel a whole new social experience where you can dine there, you can entertain, there's more seating, more comfort, all underneath the shade of the hardtop. It'll be a beautiful experience. The last thing I'll point out on features is the transom. So this boat is kind of picking up a bigger and bigger trend right now in Boston Whalers, where we're trying to open up the use of the shady area in your boat. So now you get more seating underneath the hardtop, and your prep, your grill, your sink, everything goes to the transom. It's more space, it's more efficient, and I think what you'll see there is a lot of thought that went into that. It just makes this boat just that much better than the boat that came before. And I think you're going to absolutely love it. So I encourage you all, get on board, go and touch and feel it. If you don't have time today, I want you to do one thing. If you could stop by the front desk, talk to Tracy, I really encourage you to schedule a test drive. One thing that you can't see here is the incredible work that Kevin Donnelly, our senior naval architect, did to create just the most amazing hull bottom you could possibly imagine. It's a beautiful ride. The only way to do that is to schedule a ride so you can go and feel it. And then lastly, come and say hi. Fabrizio, Mark, there's so many of us out here that poured our hearts into this boat, and we're really proud of it, and we really want you to feel our pride and enjoy the boat as much as we do. Thank you guys very much for coming, and I hope to see you all soon.